Most folks probably figure that the Cowboys win over the Jets was just another easy Sunday stroll, but not so fast. A leaked report on Schottenheimer's Playbook is turning everything we thought we knew about this offense upside down. And that surprise spark from Flournoy? It's got Dallas buzzing louder than a Texas beehive in July. There's real shock sweeping through Big D, where those plays aren't just clever calls, they're hidden game changers right under everyone's nose. In this video, I'm digging deep into the latest Dallas Cowboys updates, unpacking how Schottenheimer is shaking up the system, how Flournoy's sudden rise could reshape the team, and what it all means for the rest of the season. I'm Tex Downey, a lifelong Cowboys faithful since the glory days when Staubach was slinging it to Pearson, and the doomsday defense made opponents quake in fear. I've scoured every corner of NFL news on the Dallas Cowboys to bring y'all the unfiltered truth. Stick around, because by the end, there's a defensive twist that might just make you rethink our playoff chances. Could this leak be the turning point of the season? Hang tight and drop your gut feeling in the comments about Schottenheimer's secret sauce. All right, let's saddle up and break down that 37-22 beatdown of the Jets. The kind of win that feels mighty fine, but leaves you wondering if it's the real deal or fool's gold. Cowboys news and rumors have been flying faster than a Prescott deep ball ever since Sunday. We went in short-handed on the offensive line and still racked up yardage like a runaway train. Dak looked sharp, trusting the young guns and running Schottenheimer's offense with poise. The whole unit was humming smoother than a freshly tuned pickup rolling down I-35. Remember those drives that used to stall under McCarthy? Gone. Schottenheimer's dialing up plays that blend Dak's arm with clever run fakes, the kind of stuff fans had been hoping for but hadn't seen until now. And that rookie Flournoy? 6 catches for 114 yards, leading all receivers. He came out of nowhere, running reverses from the opening snap and making seasoned defenders look slow. Every Cowboys headline is lit up with talk of his breakout. In a game that wasn't nearly as close as the score suggests, Dallas built a 36-point lead before easing off the gas, flattening a weak Jets team into the turf. Of course, it was the Jets, winless and bleeding points like a rusted-out bucket, but even so, doing that with 9 starters nursing injuries shows grit. Insiders like ESPN's Ben have been chirping that despite the soft opponent, this win proves that Schottenheimer's finally fixed the sequencing issues. Less conservative, more aggressive. The latest reports on the run game say Clayton Adams has the ground attack cooking, with play action finally clicking after years of sputtering. The whole thing hits with a wave of nostalgia, reminiscent of the 90s when Dallas used to steamroll opponents and leave them choking on dust. But don't get too high on it yet. The schedule tightens soon, with playoff contenders like the Commanders and Broncos looming. Here's a juicy thought to keep you locked in. What if Flournoy's breakout isn't a one-off, but the start of a secret playoff plan? Picture him lining up beside a healthy CeeDee Lamb. That duo could be explosive. Now, here's where it gets dicey. Whispers are spreading about leaks in Schottenheimer's playbook, the kind that could reshape the whole strategy. And you know, as Cowboys fans, we've got scars deep as canyons from seasons that start like wildfire and end in ashes. So what's got me pacing like a restless longhorn in a thunderstorm? The defense. Cowboys chatter's been hammering on it. One solid showing against a bad Jets offense doesn't mean the problems are solved. We saw tweaks from Matt Eberflus, tighter man coverage, creative blitzes from Shamar James and Reddy Stewart, even Dante Fowler turning up the heat. PFF clocked us at 32 pressures, which sounds great until you remember the Jets are, well, the Jets. They flirted with wins, sure, but real contenders bury them. We did our job. Barely. Frustration's still simmering when you think about those early games where the defense disappeared, like tumbleweeds through a ghost town. Injuries are stacking up fast, and that's the real gut punch here. By the end of the game, the Cowboys were down 4 offensive linemen and 9 total starters. The question now is, how long before that comes back to bite us? Latest NFL Dallas Cowboys reports flag the growing concern in the secondary, where Diggs and Bland are doing their best to hold the line, but those defensive rotations are looking wobbly. Linebacker play isn't immune either. Shamar James notched an impressive 15 tackles, yet gave up 11 catches in coverage. That hurts. Kenneth Murray is still missing tackles, and Jack Sanborn's stuck in concussion protocol. According to the newest Dallas Cowboys reports, it's turning into a battle between youth and reliability. And right now, the scales tip towards unreliable. Micah Parsons' lingering contract drama from the offseason continues to cast a shadow in the locker room, fueling tension nobody needs midseason. Jerry Jones's latest take-it-week-by-week comments don't do much to calm the storm either. Decades of chasing Super Bowls, only to see hopes collapse like a busted bronc at the rodeo. That frustration's wearing thin. Sure, the Jets win looked good on paper, but it papered over cracks that tougher teams like the Eagles and Chiefs are bound to exploit. Lose a few in a row, and you know how quick Cowboys news and rumors turn sour. The biggest worry? Depth? If young players like Nathan Thomas, who held up okay but got spun around a few times, or TJ Bass start slipping, this whole foundation shakes. Those preseason 2025 fears about roster cuts coming back to haunt us suddenly feel a lot more real. Now we're halfway through this breakdown. Y'all feeling the insight from diving deep into the Dallas Cowboys news today? If you're nodding along, hit that subscribe button, because more bombshells are coming. What's your take? Is this defensive revival legit, or just smoke from beating the Jets? All right, let's flip the tone. No point in stewing over the mud if we've got a rope to pull ourselves out of it. So what's the path forward to get this team galloping towards the playoffs? Start with Schottenheimer's offensive blueprint. Those leaks in Dallas Cowboys rumors about his aggressive sequencing? Lean into that. Play to Dak's strengths and ditch the conservative fourth down calls. We've seen flashes. Play action's finally working, the run game's waking up. Build on that momentum, and this offense could become a nightmare for defenses across the league. On defense, Rafis's adjustments, more blitzes, more varied fronts, are starting to pay off. Keep dialing that up. Shamar James's athleticism gives the linebacker unit promise. Pairing with Overshawn once he's healthy, and that group could finally pack a punch. Dallas Cowboys updates even highlight James Houston as a fresh burst of pass rush energy. Best used situationally, not every down. And then there's Flournoy. That breakout performance at receiver looks like a real solution. He brings more spark than Tolbert, who's solid in the dirty work but lacks flash. Rotate them wisely. Flournoy for routes, Tolbert for blocking and special teams. NFL Dallas Cowboys news suggests that young linemen like Assam Richards and Nathan Thomas can help stabilize the front. Nathan Thomas might not be miles ahead of Gayton, but that internal competition sharpens everyone. Injuries? They'll always sting, but depth can dull the pain. Bass outplaying veterans proves that a merit-based system works. Expectations may breed frustration, but wins like these rebuild faith. Beat a few contenders, and that faith turns to belief. So, here's the outlook. Win 3 of the next 5 against the Commanders, Broncos, and Cardinals, and we're playoff bound. Insiders are already whispering about trade possibilities for edge help before the deadline. Jerry Jones says he'd rather build from within. That's fine, but it's time to walk the talk. There's hope here, rooted in nostalgia, like when Parcells turned this team around back in the day. Maybe Schottenheimer is the spark to do it again. Problems like secondary depth can be solved through trust. Let Elliam and Stewart keep rotating, and let the young talent fight for spots. That internal fire could fuel the revival we've been waiting for. And here's the final thought to chew on. What if this win over the Jets is the spark that ignites a streak, shutting up the critics once and for all? If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the Dallas Cowboys' latest twists and hidden storylines, smash that subscribe button, drop your bold prediction for the Panthers matchup, and share this with your fellow fans. Let's grow this Cowboys community together.